It was meant to be nothing more than a simple neighborhood cookout, the kind where the smoky scent of grilled burgers fills the air and children's laughter echoes across the yard. I had arranged the speakers, set out the drinks, and was doing my best to keep the atmosphere lighthearted. My wife, Sarah, was nearby, chatting with a group of women. Everything felt perfectly normal, until my neighbor Jason suddenly raised his voice above the chatter and dropped a bombshell that crushed the evening. With a smug grin, he declared, "Everyone here should know. I got Sarah pregnant." The entire yard froze. Laughter died. Forks hung in midair, and every eye swung in my direction. My stomach knotted, my chest tightened, and it felt as though a weight had been dropped onto me. Sarah gasped, immediately denying the accusation. But Jason leaned back in his chair, looking pleased with himself as if he relished the storm he had just stirred up. My hands shook, but I forced myself to stay composed. Losing control in front of everyone would only fuel his game. Sarah's face turned pale as she shook her head. "That's a disgusting lie," she snapped, but Jason only laughed louder. "Don't bother denying it, sweetheart. We both know what happened," he jeered, locking eyes with me, daring me to believe him. My heart hammered, anger colliding with a deep sting of betrayal. I wanted to yell, to break something, but instead, I remembered the one thing that could end this nightmare once and for all: the video. For weeks, I had suspected Jason of spreading rumors. The sly smirks, the way he looked at Sarah, it all pointed to something. I had installed cameras around our home, not because I doubted Sarah, but because I needed proof against his toxic games. That proof was on my phone. Tonight was the moment to use it. I stood, pulled out my phone, and connected it to the speaker system. "If you're so sure of yourself, Jason, maybe everyone should see what really happened." The crowd leaned closer, curiosity buzzing. Jason's grin faltered for the first time. His eyes narrowed, but I saw the flicker of fear behind them. The video lit up the big outdoor screen we'd set up earlier for the kids' movie. It showed Jason, drunk one late night, pounding on our door and yelling Sarah's name. She never let him inside. Instead, the footage revealed her calling me, her voice shaking as she begged me to come home quickly. Another clip captured Jason boasting to his buddies by the fence, bragging about sleeping with Sarah, claims now exposed as lies. Gasps spread across the yard. Neighbors exchanged horrified glances, some shaking their heads in disgust. The truth was undeniable. Jason had been fabricating stories to inflate his own ego. His smirk was gone, replaced with rage and humiliation. "That doesn't prove anything," he shouted. But his cracking voice betrayed him, and no one believed a word. Sarah stood by my side, tears welling, not of guilt, but of relief. "He's been harassing me for months," she told the crowd softly, and I was too afraid to speak up. The women she had spoken with earlier rushed to comfort her, wrapping her in hugs. Jason was left isolated, his own wife glaring from across the yard, fury and betrayal written on her face. When he tried to storm off, she grabbed his arm. "Is it true? Have you been lying about her all this time?" she demanded. He stammered, unable to defend himself. His bravado shattered. She slapped him across the face in front of everyone, then snatched her purse and walked out, leaving him standing there in disgrace. The neighbors didn't want him around anymore. One by one, they told him to leave. He had crossed a line that could never be repaired. Jason staggered out, defeated, his reputation destroyed. The man who tried to break my marriage had ruined his own instead. When the chaos subsided, I turned to Sarah. She threw her arms around me, whispering, "Thank you for trusting me." The anger inside me softened as I held her close, realizing that our trust had been our shield. Jason's lies could have planted doubt, but truth and faith had proven stronger. The evening carried on, quieter now. Neighbors stayed, trying to restore some normalcy with food and laughter, though the shadow of Jason's downfall lingered. Whispers spread, not about Sarah or me, but about him. About how destructive jealousy can be. About how dangerous lies can grow. Later, when the house was quiet and the guests were gone, Sarah and I sat together on the porch. She held my hand and admitted softly, "I was terrified you'd doubt me." I shook my head. "I know who you are, Sarah. He could never take that from us. That night could have torn us apart, but instead, it drew us closer." Jason's attempt to drag Sarah's name through the mud only revealed his own corruption. From then on, he became the neighborhood outcast, while Sarah and I rebuilt our peace. Every time I looked at her, I reminded myself, trust is the greatest defense against betrayal, and the truth always finds its way out.